I would like to have a similar brief introduction about myself and a small company, our company. So as everybody know, my name is Ayyappan, working for a company in China, city of Jiangmen. The company name is Asia Tan, which produces leather, cow leather, and is a Tech Tough International, which makes special high performance splits. And my boss name is Andy Pleatman, who's an American, who started this company 30 years ago in the same city. And we are proud to be part of this meeting and just share our experience, what we have gone through in these times. And I would like to make it as a PowerPoint presentation so that we can see point by point what has been implemented in our company based on the guidance of the Chinese government and the local authorities, as well as our management team. So you can see the first slide mentioning our heading saying that stepping up after lockdown, COVID-19 responses measures for the tannery operations. As I told, this is our brief details about our company. So it's located in Jiangmen City, Guangdong Province. We make leather from wet blue to finish. So the wet blue we buy basically from Brazil and Saudi Arabia and Turkey, basically. So we buy cow, splits, and goat. So our main customers, as I told, the leading brands in the world. Our number one customer is Nike, followed by Asics Japan, Adidas, VF Footwear, and of course other leading brands also. But these four brands makes up to the 85 to 90% of our production. So we make up around 50 million square feet a year, and we have around 280 employees, direct employees in our company. More than that, as I told you, not only a leather manufacturing company, we are part of always a sustainable programs and well development programs throughout the world. And our main important is we are a member of LWG, and we do regular audits through LWG, and we are always, the last 4 to 5 sessions, we are always in gold rating. Gold rating is the highest rating awarded by Leather Working Group, which is an independent audit group which audits the tanneries throughout the world and award certificates. Gold is the highest level, and we all know that Mr. Vishwanathan is a proud member of the Leather Working Group, and he is also the main auditor for the industry, and he visits all over the place and does the similar audits. On top of this, we also do other programs. We are an ISO 14001 certified company. And more importantly, we are a member of China Leather Industry Association, which is run by the Beijing head of industrial division, and also supported by the provincial head from Guangdong. And the China Leather Association also do similar audits in our tannery to see how are the things get improved over for the environment. On top of that, on Leather Working Group, we also doesn't do audit. We also part of we were part of the Leather LWG Executive Committee. It determines how the industry and the Leather Working Group has to be proceeded for the future. And also we are a part of technical subgroup, which also helps the small tanners and the middle-sized tanners on the Leather Working Group. So this is our brief introduction of our company. And whatever we make in the leather, in our tannery, we always focus on the environmental factors. It's not only for the customers, it's for the industry and the environment and for the future. So this is a brief introduction. So any questions or doubts in this? Can I proceed? Hello?
Yes, Mr. Ayyappan, please proceed.
Okay. So now we come to the main point, our COVID-19 response, our presentation. So we have divided our presentation into 8 points, 8 important points, so that we do how we attack and how we handle the problem. We have divided our experience into 8 different points. So you can see the first content is forming a response team. That's very important. Always start with any kind of emergency or any kind of like a problem handling team. Our company is fortunate to always have, thanks to Leather Working Group, who also part of the audit is an emergency plans management team. So we have always formed in our tannery. And the first point will cover basically how a response team has been formed and what are the individual duties of the response team. The second part, okay, we'll go point by point. So first we go to the first point, COVID-19 response team. So our team, you can see as per the slide, we have a team leader who is called the tannery director, because is called Mr. Lee. Lee is our Chinese factory manager, who made him as our team leader. His team members are human resource manager, health and safety manager, assistant production manager, and every department will have an in charge called foreman. So we have a department foreman under this team. So this core team is responsible for handling day-to-day COVID-19 response procedures. And we are technicians here, since all these people are Chinese, because they are the one who are going to handle the Chinese people. And we are technicians here, will be guiding them on other parts. So as a part of their individual tasks, so you can see first is HR manager, the human resource manager, which is a very important part of this job, because she communicates the communication of the measures to the staffs and workers prior to resuming work and after. So when we were closed approximately 3 weeks, 1 week for the regular Chinese New Year holiday. And after that, government asked us to extend our holiday to make sure the measures takes place. So we were off for 3 weeks. So February 17th, from January 24th to February 16th, we were closed. And government allowed us to open at February 17th with our workforce. And we started our company with our local workforce, which consists of 90% of the people. 10% belong to the other provinces. So the HR manager, as per our company terms, has a communication way through mobile phone to all the workers. So we have called WeChat, similar to WhatsApp. So our company has a group of WeChat. So that every day, any important news of government, which always sent us message to these people. So through them, the information has gone through them so that they can resume work on February 17th. So before that, 1 or 2 days before, we formed this team using health and safety manager, who takes care of the prevention and measures implemented. And later we will tell you what are the measures we have implemented. And when the people join, they form into teams and give training. Then we have another foreman from maintenance departments, who takes care of the buying all the materials, all the PPEs, all the government certain things. So he will buy and keep enough stock, so that when the company runs, everybody should have should not be any shortages. Then we have a departmental foreman. So our company has many departments: raw material departments, preparing raw material. We call drum section, where we make the dyeing. Then we have the setting and hooking departments, finishing departments, packing departments. So every department has a leader. So we use that leader as part of our team, so that the main team will inform these foremen about the precautionary measures to be taken. And this foreman will be explaining to this departmental workers. As usual, we have an assistant production manager, who's also a Chinese, who's assisting me. she will also make sure that everything is followed by gradual checking. And top of this is the team leader, which is tannery directors, who will always be in coordination directly with the local government authorities. And all these members report on a daily basis, on a summary basis to the tannery director. So this is how we formed a team before we started our work, so that everybody should be well prepared and make sure there is less mistakes happening during the work and follow all the government regulations and guidances. So any questions, doubts in that? Because we are moving to the next point. For any emergency situations, the most important is the team, and the teams should be well equipped and well educated so that they should be able to run the company without any. And so far, we are able to do it successfully. So can I proceed to the next point?
Yeah, please proceed, Mr. Ayyappan.
So we have important things called use of disinfectant. So because why I put this as a first point is it starts with the gate. So whenever we start the company, we have a main gate with security. So you can see the page, so there is a mat which will be always wet with, sprayed and wet with disinfectant, so that any vehicles and people should walk through this mat. And if at all, just as a government guidance, we have to make it always wet in a stage, so that when people walk through the shoes as well as the tires of the car, and the car can, if there is any virus into that, it can be sterilized by this kind of a small effort. So this has been followed from us from day one, and this is part of our disinfectant program. And the disinfectant is 5% Na sodium hypochlorite solution, which has to be applied here as well as sprayed in our company. So this is on the entrance part. On this company session, we have every session will have one worker. On the end of the day, so we work only one shift a day. So once the work is done, each worker of one department has to spray the floors. You can see a screen with disinfectant. This was just taken from video yesterday to show, so it's on a working time. But generally, it is to be done at the end of the day. So sprayed every part of the floor and then wiped and mopped through the similar solution. So if any infection on the floor, on the end of the day, we spray fully so that it can be sterilized. Similar thing we use in the canteen and toilets. And whoever spraying the insecticide has to have proper PPE with protective gloves and masks and what you call goggles and footwear and everything. So this is a basic steps we follow for the company, for the whoever entering the company, as well as after the work. So next is the temperature checks. So we have given temperature checks at the front entrance of the gate. So we have provided the security personnel with, we have 280 people. So we have around 8 infrared guns. 8 people at the front will be at the front of the gate, measuring every worker who enter the company through an infrared thermometer. So we set, even though 37.2 or 3 is safe, 37 degrees as a minimum point. The maximum point of entry. So anybody's temperature shows above 37 or touching 37, so they will be put aside, and the COVID response team will be immediately informed. They will come and do the further checking. And all the visitors, whoever enter the company, will also done the same procedure, and also their temperature has been recorded at the security gate. This is not only a part of our company, this is a common practice throughout China. Whoever enters any shops, any banks, any malls or stores will be checked for their temperatures. So this is one basic step we do every day in the morning and in the afternoon to make sure everybody's temperature has been checked. So by that way, this is one basic steps we follow every day. On top of it, for our company, we have an IT team. So we made our own mobile app using a Chinese version plus English version to record and update everybody's temperature. Once they recorded at the gate, everybody should enter this information in the gate and upload through their mobile. So this information should be recorded before 9 o'clock every day. So our human resource development team will always monitor this and see if as everybody recorded this temperature. And this will be updated into our system, and government officials regularly visits our company. So they will come and check whether we are able to do it every day on a daily basis. And this has been a common practice till now, and we'll be continuing to do until we feel it is safe and as per the government guidance. This is one way of recording our temperature for each and every worker, management team. And this is not for the visitors, this is only for the workers. The visitors, the security will record the temperature in a separate form and then let the visitors in. And once everybody who enters the company should wear like this 3-ply surgical mask on mandatory. It is completely mandatory. They should be wearing once they enter the company as till they work in the company till going to their home. And this is definitely mandatory. And this mask has to be supplied by our company. As per the Chinese local authorities guidance, the company is responsible of providing the mask on a daily basis. So generally we give 1 week worth of like 5 pieces or 6 pieces mask to each and every worker on Saturdays, and from Monday to Saturday 6 masks will be giving, and that they have to wear this mask all the time where they present in the company. And this has to be used on a daily basis, cannot reuse, we should not reuse the mask, and this is like a mandatory requirement followed strictly in our company. And all parts of China, still all public in China wearing mask. Maybe it will be a 2-ply or a 3-ply, but definitely when they come out, they are wearing the mask. So that also main reason that the spreading of COVID inside the company and parts of our China is comparatively very, very, very less. And point 6, social distancing. We install that 1.5 meter social distancing between workers when they are not working, because it's very easy to, when they work, sometimes you have to be a little bit closed. So mask wearing also helps us in kind of not spreading the virus. But in other parts of the time, when they sit for meetings, when they sit for canteen, they are advised to do this practice. So 1 or 2 persons at one table is allowed. And plus, all the workers, lunch time we have break into 4 different timings. So every worker, previously all workers go at the same time and come back at the same time. Now we have split our team into 4 different timings. So starts, time is 11:15. So we have 4 different timings starting from 10:45 to 11 to 11:15, 11:15 to 11:20, and 11:30 to 11:45. So that all people doesn't come and unaffected the same day. During the work also, we have enough, we have kept people, make sure they keep distances in the work. And point number 7 is other measures. The other measures is basically educating. If we tell the people over time, they might forget. So we keep on putting this kind of posters. It's also done by our company and Chinese government, distributed to all the companies. So we keep posters throughout the company, and as part of a meeting, weekly meeting, on a daily notice board, we also emphasize the importance of all this, taking care of all these points on a regular basis, so that people get complacent over time. We are already into our 7th week of working. So people might get complacent over time. So this kind of reminders will help them to keep sure they keep on following the regular procedures. So part of that is education of employees, and how to, in case of sneezing and coughing, how to do a basic way and try to ventilate the working areas. And in case of any symptoms, also difficulties, we also let them know what to do, how to contact the team, response team, so that the response team will take care. And throughout, where all the washrooms are there, we have provided with soaps for regular washing, and we also advise them how to wash, and through our training programs and through posters. And sanitizers is not part of this washing program, but sanitizer has been provided in all sections, so people can always access it. But washing soap is compulsory, is kept at every washing areas. So on another part, if somebody have any symptoms, either at the gate or at the workflows, so we also made a point, we have procedure to handle this kind of cases. So anybody who have this kind of problem, who says any symptoms or discomfort, has to immediately inform the foreman, who's the department head, or the security person at the gate will inform the team people. So they will be isolated from the place, and the people who are going to handle him immediately should wear this kind of appropriate PPE of face mask, gloves, and overalls. And then try to keep him on we have a designated room for that. And the team leader or the team people will inform the local government about this, any complaints. So the local government will immediately send the medical personnel and the team to a tannery. And this has been intimated by the government to do so, and we are also following that. So far, no cases, but still this is the procedure. So the local medical personnel will come and take them for further testings and treatment. This is also a common practice in public. So anybody feeling any discomfort has to inform the local authorities. The numbers has been displayed in the notice board, and they also have WeChat information for the Chinese government also. So they can inform through WeChat or their phone when they have any problem in their houses. So this is the basic simple procedures we have been following till date, and we are able to do it so far successfully with the help of our workers, people, team, and we'll be continuing doing it until we have good solution for this COVID. So thanks for watching and listening. So please let me know if you have any doubts, questions in that.